Go.
Good morning, this is Faerber from Art to Ride, and we've been introducing you to Bailador. This is about the fifth time I've lunged him. When I first started him, he'd been used to going in things that tied his head down, so he would just kind of brace upwards and fight you. But he knew nothing about getting in the zone. He was one of those horses that would, when you're riding him, take every advantage to spook at every little sound and try to jump out of his skin. Basically, like so many horses today, he's sort of half-trained. If everything is going absolutely perfectly, the horse will kind of go along okay. But as soon as, you know, any little thing jumped out of bushes or something, he was ready to spook and jump out of his skin and buck and all those kinds of things. So it's taken a little while, but after only a few days, he's already starting to relax and stretch into the contact. Notice how long I have the side reins on this horse, just like we've shown you in other videos. And hoorah. And it's very normal for the horse to try to canter like that rather than trot correctly. There he goes. We see him begin to stretch into the contact. That's what we're looking for. When we first began him on the lunge line, he would just go around with his hind legs out behind him, kind of creeping along, you know, and always with a lot of pressure into the bridle upwards. He never really learned to relax and stretch into the contact. But we see after only a few days of doing this how nicely now he's reaching into the contact with the bridle, seeking the contact. Once again, it's so important. You'll never know that the horse's back is working correctly if you put things on the horse that tie the horse's head down. Because if we tie the horse's head down, he may look to the uninitiated like he's doing something correct, but the reality is when you tie the horse's head down in any manner, it actually will stop the back end from coming through. So you may have this phony frame in front, and two-rot. Two-rot. Just a second here. There we go. Very nice. And he comes back into that nice little stretch. So as I was saying, if you do anything like shorten the horse's neck by over-tightening side reins or by putting an over-tight gogue on the horse or something like this, we can pull his head over, but we won't get the back end to come through, and we'll never be sure that it's working correctly. So when we work in long side reins like this, when the horse stretches in and we've done everything correctly, we know that the horse is working over its back. It won't stretch into that contact unless it is. And once again, we can see how much better the back end is coming through. Now, he's still like so many horses that try to evade. He'd rather give us a canter right now than give us a good trot. So I don't try to immediately slam him back and keep him working forward. A little bit of reverse psychology. In other words, if he gives me a canter that I don't want, I'm not going to immediately jerk on his mouth and bring him back. I'm just going to send him on the canter. So he knows that that isn't getting him out of anything. And trot. And then I'll come back to trot. That's how easily you made the downward transition. There. Very nice. Now this has only taken, I've been lunging him for about 5 minutes before Kristen started filming today. When I first started lunging this horse a week or so ago up in Los Angeles, it took a good better part of an hour to get him to even begin to stretch into the contact, and he never really was getting in the zone. So yesterday was the first day I felt like he really got to a really comfortable place and just stayed there consistently, as he's now starting to do right now. That's what we're looking for right there. Beautifully stretching over the back, and this has only taken about 5 or 10 minutes today to get him to this point. Very nice. Just like that. And you stay there mostly consistently all around the circle. That's what I'm looking for, just like that. Notice how the inside side rein is looser than the outside. Once again, when side reins are correctly adjusted, that is, they should always be the same length and never so short that they're tying the horse's head down. When the horse bends, the inside rein will be looser. That tells me that I've taught the horse to move into the outside rein. Beautiful, just like that. Notice how nice and deeply he's evenly swinging the hind legs under the body now. Beautiful, right there. So we'll know that our lunging is correct when it gets shorter and shorter each day. We want to be sure that when we lunge for control, not just to wear the horse out. So many horses I see get fitter and fitter and fitter because the people just basically chase them on the end of the lunge line instead of teaching them something so that their lunging becomes shorter and shorter. So that's a good way to know. If you're lunging your horse at home and you find that it's taking you longer and longer to work the horse down, now that doesn't mean that certainly if the horse has been standing in for a few days because of rain or whatever, and it hasn't been worked, certainly he's going to be a little high and it's going to take you a little longer. But on a regular basis, it should be taking shorter and shorter like it was with this horse. It took 5 or 10 minutes to get him there today instead of an hour. Once again, this is our first session taping-wise with this young man, so we'll see him over the next 2 weeks. He'll be here until the first of the year, so we'll get a good opportunity to see how he can change over that period of time. Thank you very much. This is Will Faerber from Art to Ride.